Soil and Water Conservation and IPR Advisor Imkong Imchen pra chronic neglect June to Lambai semi prachulikina ahia labar vaupor talaka mon chinda chunaiship. Tai kuishi ki Soil and Water Conservation Department do hotai committee thian aro committee fund June to karni idle manpower aro galat administrative faisla loi guship. Koimade Monday press conference de khota kuria homoide Imchen pra kuishi ki department de 100 opor qualified officers ase holibi budget committee hua karni tai khan ge tik assignment na pai koikina tai koishi ki department laga budget 2023 to 24 day rupees 2.5 crore 2024 to 25 day rupees 2.7 crore aro 2025 to 26 day rupees 3.5 crore tagishi jun to tai laga hisab de asol requirement ba bishi committee ase kushi I be to look up details precise.
I would like to highlight some of the pressing issues of the department. As a matter of fact, this soil and water conservation has many potential well-qualified officers in the department. But the funding by the state government were always far below the adequate or required demand. I do not know the reason behind. 2023-24, the annual fund allocation was 2.50 crores. 24-25 was 2.70 crores. 25-26 is 3.50 crores, which is not even altogether, see, around the 7 crores out of the 3 annual plan allocation, which is not even a smaller other department fund allocation annually. Such around 100 strong, well-qualified officers spread across the state. They've got no business. They are rather living idle because no proper funding is met over the last 3 years. Another thing is we have an institution where soil conservation the assistants were trained in Zabza. I'm told that this Zabza Institute is the only institute across the country which is subject-specific curriculum. There they used to keep training. The candidates were selected having bioscience 12 plus 2. Bioscience is a 2 years diploma course. Only this Zabza qualified candidates were selected in the interview for employment as a soil conservation assistant. And that was so beautiful because their curriculum were soil conservation specific, not general studies, soil conservation specific. Even there also they were given opportunity of employment based on merit and seniority. But when framing the service role, the Department of PNER, Personal and Administrative Reform of PNER, they have spoiled the system by imposing upon the department that training should be undergo for 2 years diploma course in service, whereas departments were selecting the candidate for pre-service training. There is a first difference. The present one is in service, And the practicing was a pre-service. That was also on queue system, page by page. Altogether, 439 students were passed out of the 21 batches. And they were employing almost everybody were employed. But henceforth, the training will be on the basis of in service, and whether you are passing out successfully the course or not, you are a government employee. That is the stupidity of the PNER department has imposed upon the department. Stupidity. I call it stupid. The Department of Personnel and Administrative Reform. And I do not know what is the motive behind to impose such a stupid policy on the department. Because this department is also part of government of now. In service training, it is a service role. Recruitment agency should be, yes, Nagaland Staff Selection Board, NSSB, should be the one. But the present practice department was a pre-service training. Even though you were passed out, you are still not employed. And government is not liable for being salary to you. But the latest service role is government is liable for paying salary to all the undergoing batches of the student. I have made several protests and agitation about such a decision, that why state government should spend unnecessarily for training to be salary for undergoing a training. Training can be taken by anybody voluntarily, and after passing from the training also, depending on the availability of the post vacancy, they will be recruiting as a government service. But the present arrangement under the Department of Soil Conservation imposed by the PNER department was, and it is, in service training. There is a big difference. Another aspect I wanted to share with you is, according to the rules of exit business, every state government, even including union government, rules of exit business is framed and mandated by the parliament for the union government as well as state government by the assembly. These are called service disciplinary conduct rules, rules of exit business. And I knew it. So, according to rules of executive business, department responsibility, duties, assignments were allocated by the government. Whereas in the service rules of executive business, the scheme under RKBY, they call it natural resource management. Natural resource management. In short, it is called NRM. Is allocated to the Department of Soil and Water Conservation, according in the rules of exit business. But in reality, it is with agriculture. And I have made several representations over the years. Lead us comply and then observe the rules of executive business, because these rules of executive business is something like a holy Bible for the Christian. Government has to abide and comply with the rules laid down under the rules of executive business. And unfortunately or fortunately, I'm a little bit thorough on these rules because I love laws. So I used to read it. So according to the rules of executive business, the assignment allocated to the rules of Department of Soil and Water Conservation was natural resource management, and it is not given yet. I have made several representation, including review meeting, but it is not given. So, in all practical terms, the Department of Soil and Water Conservation is a small seal under the Department of Agriculture in the state. It is a small seal under the Department of Agriculture. It cannot be termed as a full-fledged department because we function under the direction and control of agriculture. One flagship program, they call it Prime Minister RKBY. It's something like an umbrella program. The nodal department is agriculture. So from there, even the NRM is also included under RKBY. Soil health is also included under NRM. So it is under the command and control of Agri Protection Commissioner, APC, and party chief secretary. But APC is the nodal officer. So I function there under his command and control. So it is something, and at the same time, in Nagaland we have development of land resources, and not only that, we have the development of water resources. And this development is called soil and water conservation, minus stone, rock, minus rock. We conserve water in soil only. But the real development is you have land resources development and water resources. Then what do I look after? These are the wonderful thing we are cohabiting. Looking at the economic credential of the development, little more than 100 strong, highly qualified officers are there in the development. Highly qualified, including PhD. And they've got new work. And they are spread across the state, serving under different conditions. As truly said, Nagaland is a developing state, but this Tunsang Mon, erstwhile Tunsang Mon area are still underdeveloped area though. Underdeveloped, and I should say ours is a developing state. But this EMBU area are still underdeveloped areas. That is the difference. So in both the areas, our officers are there. They wanted to help our people, basing on the ground reality. You have a thorough academic credential to help and then diagnose their bleedings and grievances. But you don't have the potentiality, resources to meet their requirement, minimum requirement. So that's the thing. I wanted to bring it in public domain so that awareness are given. So, you see, the department doesn't have any resources. Even the one centrally sponsored scheme, the department were pushing one scheme, that is the TPR. One TPR was pushing since 2015. And 7-8 years, it could not be approved, no control. So the moment I joined here, my attention was drawn by the department. So I took up the matter with former Union Minister, Mr. Shikawat. He was the Minister Jal Shakti. That is also, of course, with a humble amount of rupees 35 crore, I think, 35. I got it approved last year. And that is the only thing. That is called rejuvenation of mine spoil areas. In other words, the area which were spoiled by the coal mining, the soil condition become barren, dry, and poisonous also, especially the water bodies. Therefore, in order to rejuvenate such soil condition, as well as the water, we have to rejuvenate it, bring it into a natural condition. So we have done, we are doing it where it is under implementation. That is the only thing we have. That is the only thing we have. And the state plan money, I have already told you, altogether, out of the 3 annual plan budget, we got altogether 7 point something crore. What is that anyway? So that's the thing I want to share with you. I thought we put it in a proper perspective. Thank you so much. I wanted to take your question.